Right here on KCEN.
People were forced to evacuate last night after a missile dropped from a Fort Hood helicopter near Aquarius Drive in Trimmier. Now, Trimmier Road had to be shut down because of the scare. Texas Today's Rebecca Schleicher joins us live now from the scene. Rebecca, what's the latest out there this morning?
Chris Teal, still no word on why or how the Army training missile was able to shake loose, but the good news is it was not live, meaning it was not in danger of exploding. But there was still some danger. The 4-foot training device fell with an impact that buried it 2 feet in the ground. Killeen police say it's normal for helicopters from Fort Hood to fly over the city. The missile apparently fell around 7:30 last night, landing in someone's backyard. The Fort Hood bomb squad was called out to investigate, and people living nearby say they're a little shaken up, but thankful the missile was just a scare.
It would have been kind of scary. Not something you hear about every day.
The bomb techs arrived around 9:20 last night. Smith and the rest of his neighbors were allowed to return home about an hour after that. And you can see the neighborhood around me, the sun coming up, people going to work, going to school. We've seen plenty of school buses and a lot of relief that yesterday was just a scare. Chris, Teal.
Now to continuing coverage on a training missile that fell from a Fort Hood helicopter landing in a Killeen neighborhood.
It happened around 7:30 last night near Aquarius Drive and Trimmier. KCEN HD News reporter Sophia Stamas joins us live in our Killeen newsroom. Sophia, you spoke with Fort Hood officials today. How could something like this happen?
Well, Fort Hood still isn't sure how the missile came off. It's used for training and isn't even meant to detach from the aircraft. Well, I spoke with the man who actually found it last night, and he's not the only one, counting his blessings today.
It didn't explode, but nearby residents were blown away when they heard a training missile landed right in their backyard.
Well, boys came in about 7:45 and said care package fell out the sky from a helicopter.
When Kenton Davis heard that, he ran toward the field behind his house.
I just jumped over the fence and went and checked it out for myself.
When he discovered what it was, the former soldier called Fort Hood.
I started thinking about that later. Just a little bit farther back, it probably could have landed on our house.
Where it did land is just yards away from where Stephanie Few's 2-year-old granddaughter Jada's play set sits.
You know, scary. It's definitely a scary feeling. I'm actually ready to go.
This is where the missile hit, and right through there is where Justin Respis, his mom, and his little sister live.
I was pretty scared because it's so close to these houses right here. I didn't know how that happened, but you know, I guess anything can happen.
But it's not supposed to happen. The training missile fell off one of Fort Hood's Apache helicopters during a routine training exercise. Now an investigation is underway to find out why it detached and if it's happened before.
While events like this, certainly we don't like to see happen, we are very, very happy about the great relationship we have with the Killeen Police Department and our ability to rapidly respond to what had happened.
After Kenton called Fort Hood, they alerted Killeen police, who evacuated about 100 households for roughly an hour.
Luckily, they got out quick. They identified it as a training missile, and it was no threat to anyone.
Still too close for comfort for Kenton, who says his kids won't be the only ones watching helicopters from now on.
Every time something flies by my house, I will be watching, yes.
And Fort Hood will continue combat training in the air as usual, with safety a high priority. And so everyone knows, soldiers never fly with live ordnance or live ammo during test flights. Doug and Myra.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Live in Killeen for us tonight.